Joining us now, Ari Fleischer, former White House press secretary, and Mollie Hemingway, editor-in-chief at the Federalist, both Fox News contributors. So, Mollie, this attempt to rebrand her and remake her, is it possible that that could be successful despite the fact that she has a long record that is easily seen and easily showcased, as the Angle just did?
Well, Democrats have a very difficult situation because the current presidency is a failed presidency, and Kamala Harris is the current vice president. And so they are working so hard to say that she had nothing to do with the failed economy, with the failed border, with the failed foreign policy. But the problem is that what they're saying, therefore, is that she did nothing while the country burned. She did nothing while the country endured these horrific situations with the economy and with the border. And so both of, you can understand why they want to separate her from the failed Biden presidency, but in so doing, they're showing just how inadequate she is as vice president.
Well, Ari, I mean, the fact that they're now so scared of this border issue, they've sent around a memo to everybody on Capitol Hill about how to message Kamala and the border. And apparently one of the things to say is she was never border czar. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. I mean, that's it? That's their argument? She never was the border czar?
And the media intercepted the memo and they said, oh, no, 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 let us say that for you. I mean, I have a feeling if the White House put out a memo right now that said Kamala is the border czar, everybody in the media would go running around saying, wait a minute, she is the border czar. I mean, this is bizarre what's happening with all of this coverage. Look, she's got deep, deep problems, which is why she was more unpopular than Joe Biden. And I think everybody sees that and knows that. And the media, if you thought they were in the tank previously, the tank just got bigger, deeper, and wider, and they love being in the tank for Kamala Harris now.
Well, there was an interesting panel, Mollie, on, it was actually on, I believe it was on MSNBC, of female voters who were asked about Kamala Harris. Let's watch.
How do you perceive Vice President Harris compared to President Biden in terms of competency and experience?
I think she's worse. She doesn't even know what's going on at the border.
Right.
And that's what she was supposed to be doing and in charge of.
I don't get a good feel for her.
I think she's an idiot.
Right.
She hasn't done anything in the time that she's had. She's not real smart.
Well, I think what happened, and those people, are tending to be Trump supporters there, but it doesn't matter because they tried to kind of cordon her off, Mollie, and you get the sense that they didn't think she put in enough time reading the briefing books, and she was blaming her staff when she'd crash and burn when she was on camera. Today, she ran off camera and didn't answer questions after meeting with Netanyahu. We're going to get to that in a moment. But I think the sell job is hard. She's not Obama in 2008, but they're trying to make her into Obama, a female version.
Right, and President Obama wanted her to be like him when he kind of got behind her in 2020, but she did not make an impression on Democrat voters at that time. She got about as many electoral votes as I did in that primary, which is to say none. And then since she has been in this office, she is not distinguishing herself. At no point have people gotten the feeling that she is particularly competent. The Democrat Party could have had a primary giving their voters a chance to pick a change agent. And they might very well have done so if given that opportunity. But they're in this problem now because nobody thinks Kamala Harris is a change agent. They know who she is vice president to, this Biden administration that has struggled so mightily across every level. That's why Americans routinely say that they feel frustrated by this presidency. But now they're stuck, and they have to use the propaganda press, which they have completely in their pocket, to try to heave her over the finish line.
Well, Ari, if you were advising the Trump campaign about how to handle her right now, what would you say to them?
You know, it's interesting because I think the campaign is doing it. They put it on the teleprompter for the president to read to focus on her most liberal in the Senate record, her ideological record, her being opposed to fracking, her support for the Green New Deal. There's a bevy of quotes that she has given that shows just how out of touch she is with the mainstream of America. I hope President Trump will hone in on that. Sometimes you get the sense he gets a little bored making policy arguments against his opponents. But the policy arguments are what's going to be what kills Kamala Harris. She'll also hurt herself because of her style, the manner in which she campaigns. That hurt her in the previous campaign. But I would really hone in on how radical she is. I mean, if you combine Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, you get Kamala Harris. And nobody wants that, particularly in the battleground states where this is going to be decided.
Yeah, well, Mollie, the bread and butter issues. I mean, the fact is Americans have gotten poorer in the Biden economy. If you want more money in your pocket, you want cheaper fuel, you want to keep your gas-powered car, you don't want so many migrants running around your hometown or your cities, you can't vote for her. She might be a nice lady, might be a good talk show host someday, might be a cool stepmom, but that doesn't work if you actually care about prosperity and peace. That's what I would do.
Yeah, to Ari's point, there are so many examples of her being so extreme on issues, particularly in states where it matters, whether it's destroying the energy industry, making it so people can't eat meat. She has these radical views. She actually has a lot of the same views that Joe Biden did, but he was able to kind of present as a moderate. She has never tried, until maybe about 24 hours ago, to present herself as a moderate, and that is going to come back and hurt her.
Yeah, Scranton Joe versus San Francisco, Kamala. I don't think so. Ari, Mollie, thanks both of you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.